One of them books before...
Hey, welcome home, Baring. Welcome home.
Jason! Well, come in.
Oh, am I glad to see you, Baring. How do you feel?
Oh, I feel fine. As for these crutches here, I'm throwing them overboard any day now. A friend of yours here.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, now, don't tell me this is Jed. Bless me, what a fine, big lad. And you're sure you're really feeling all right, Baring?
Oh, blast you, Jason. Stop asking me how I feel.
Well, I've been worried about you. Last word we had was from Eli Bacon after he hailed you off New Zealand a year ago. Yeah, I thought maybe I'd killed you letting you go to sea hurt like you were.
Eli Bacon. Can't wait to sew me up in canvas. How much oil did Mr. Long-Nosed Bacon bring back?
Well, he had bad luck. 1,400 barrels.
1,400. What's the record for this port, you recall?
You know very well the record's 2,217 barrels.
Well, it ain't no more.
What's that?
It's 2,246.
Say, Baring, is that the truth? Or you just...
Mr. Stewart says maybe it's even a world record.
Back to them books. That's the last time, now.
Aye, sir.
Baring, I can't tell you how proud I am for you. And it doesn't often happen for a man to have a record to retire on.
Retire? Who says I'm retiring?
Well, I didn't mean to bring it up right now, but, well, why not, Baring? The board of directors are giving you a pension, $3,000 a year.
Oh, ain't that nice, now? Figured I ain't got another voyage in me, huh?
Oh, be reasonable. It's not just the directors. The insurance company says so, too. Now, don't tell me you want to go to sea again.
Maybe so. Maybe not. I ain't decided.
What is it? Is it the boy? You want to leave someone else named Joy on the quarterdeck? Because if that's it, it's nothing but pride. Now, look.
I ain't looking. There ain't no directors nor no insurance company doing my deciding for me. No, you neither.
All right, Baring, all right. Here, you'll be needing this. Key to your house.
Thank you.
Everything's clean and ready for you. It's a right pleasant house, Baring.
Yeah.
You and the boy should be real comfortable there.
Me and the boy be real comfortable aboard this vessel.
Good to see you, Jed. He's a fine lad.
Thank you, sir. Are we going home now, sir?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Come on, boy. We're going home. You still up, Jed? Past 4 balls.
I've been studying, Grandpa, like you told me to.
Oh, well. Well, I've just been calling on the school superintendent. You'll take the examination tomorrow morning.
Yes, Grandpa. If I fail, I can't go to sea no more. That's it, ain't it, Grandpa?
I ain't saying it is, and I ain't saying it ain't. And no more gab about failing, you hear me?
But I just don't know nothing about this book-learning bilge.
It ain't bilge. Useless, maybe, but don't you ever let me hear you calling it bilge.
Yes, sir.
What's fretting you special? What book you been studying?
This one. It's the grammar book.
Well, what don't you know about it?
Well, for one thing, I don't know what parse means.
Parse?
It says parse the following sentence.
Parse.
In the front of the book, it says parse is a verb transitive.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you that, boy. Excepting that I didn't think you'd understand.
I don't.
What? It means,
It says it means to resolve.
I know what it means.
I wish you'd tell me, Dan.
Well, resolve means to kind of take something apart. Like you take a knot apart, see how it's tied. Well, that's what you do to a sentence. You bust it all up into adverbs and adjectives. It's interesting, isn't it?
I'm scared, Grandpa. I just can't think anymore. I get all mixed up. I just can't think.
All right, boy. All right now. Oh, you've done enough for one day. Time was both in our beds.
Can I sleep in your room, Grandpa? It's got 2 beds and
Well, it's being your first night ashore.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah. Grab hold of that lamp, boy. Get above. Lively now. Lively.
Grandpa?
Huh?
Just now when you were praying, were praying like I wasn't going to pass the examination.
Oh, I didn't mean to, Jed. I was just letting the Lord know that if he's got some disappointment for us to face tomorrow, that, well...
I'll try, Grandpa. Honest, I will.
But if you don't pass, well, it could be that the Lord means it's for our own good.
But I gotta go to see Grandpa to get raised proper, like we always said.
And I'm saying that maybe he don't want me to raise you in no place like that. You know, it's a rough, tough, hard life, boy.
I want to go to see Grandpa.
Yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. Jed, this house here, you don't remember much about it, do you?
I was pretty young then, I guess.
Yeah. Mighty interesting subject, remembering. Mighty scientific subject.
It is?
Yeah. Now, just being scientific, you wouldn't remember the night you was brought in here to my room to sleep, would you? Night your ma died.
I don't think so, Grandpa.
No, just lonesome you was. Just lonesome.
I think I remember, Grandpa. Kind of.
I had to kiss you goodnight. Even just like I was your ma. Seemed to make you forget about being lonesome. Funny, ain't it?
I guess so, Grandpa.
Yeah. I don't suppose that right now you'd,
Huh?
Oh, nothing, boy. Nothing. Well, you was mighty young, like you said. Well, go to sleep. Go to sleep.
So, if you'd like to wait here in my office, Captain Joy, until the examination is over...
You sure ain't bothering you, Mr. Bush. After all, you being the school superintendent...
I only wish you'd stop worrying about the boy.
Mr. Bush, you're a married man, huh? You father any children?
No, we've never been blessed with any, Captain Joy.
But you know about them, though. I guess it ain't so hard, is it?
Being a parent?
Well, it ain't just being a parent. It's being a parent ashore.
Well, some pretty fair people have managed to get raised ashore.
That's right. Abe Lincoln now. He made it handsome.
Most handsome.
But Lincoln's folks were shore folks, and that makes a difference.
If need be, Captain, if Jed doesn't pass, I think you'll make it handsome, too. You've given the boys something to look up to. That's the hardest part. You brought home a record, didn't you? A record that will stand.
Yeah. I'll tell you the kind of a record I brought home. I had it right here in my hands to keep Jed out there for one more voyage. That's all I needed, just one more voyage. Only it ain't going to come about. And why? Because of me. Because I kept him ignorant. Because I couldn't teach him proper.
I didn't know it meant that much to you. If you'll excuse me, Captain, I have a message for one of the teachers. I almost forgot.
Yes, Mr. Bush, that's the kind of a record I brought home.
Corrected any of his papers yet, Miss Hopkins?
Arithmetic, spelling, and English, Mr. Bush. He's working on geography now.
Well?
Simply deplorable. So far, his average is 32.
Miss Hopkins, you will give him a mark of 70.
What did you say,
I
sir?
said you will give him a mark of 70. I am not going to tell that old man that his boy failed.
But he did fail. And if you want me to falsify an examination, just...
All right, then. You tell him. Go on. Tell him that he has to raise that boy on shore. That he can't take the last of the joys to sea again to make a whaling master out of him. You go ahead. I'm not man enough.
We have no right, Mr. Bush. No right to send him where the only things they'll learn about are the sea and that terrible rough life. It's not enough.
There's a little matter called character, Miss Hopkins. That old man has a textbook that builds character. There's no words, Miss Hopkins. If I could learn to read that book of his, I'd give up knowing how to spell. And I'd give up a good deal more if I had that boy's chance to be a man.
Oh, I know. But the point is...
The point is, Miss Hopkins, that we will mark the paper 70.
Come in. Glad you stopped by the office. You can stay there, Jason. Just tell me what you've done about refitting the vessel.
Well, we haven't done anything yet. I'd like you to meet Mr. Lunsford here. Mr. Lunsford, this is Captain Joy.
I do.
How do you say?
Well, what do you mean you ain't done nothing?
Well, I see. Jed must have passed, eh?
Passed? Of course he passed. 70% in every subject. Not bad for a boy who never went to school. Now look, where's the waiting? We got a crew to line up and the first mate to find.
That's strange. I was just talking about that with Mr. Lunsford.
Oh, you was, huh?
Yes, Mr. Lunsford from Boston. And was he to get a chance to sail with you? Well, it might work out just fine all around.
Yeah. Young fella, ain't he, Jason? Yeah. Young and healthy.
Well, I imagine I could survive another voyage, sir.
Jason, a body with half an eye can see the wheels run round your head. Lunsford comes from Boston. Boston, where them insurance companies but Now, it wouldn't be possible that Mr. Lunsford's got his master's papers on him, would it?
Well, yes, he has.
Look, suppose we let Captain Joy look the record over if he wants to, and if he's got any questions to ask
That's a mighty fine idea, young fella. Yeah. Let's see them papers, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
There. Yeah. Rigby and Son. That's good for him. Later promoted to first mate of the Albatross. Yes, good ship. Mm-hmm. Hey, what's this?
Just some school credits, sir.
Went to school to learn how to take wheel, huh? Now, that's mighty interesting. What'd they learn you in that school, Mr. Lunsford?
I studied engineering, seamanship, navigation, marine biology.
Marine what?
Biology.
Now, I'd take it mighty kindly if you was to tell me about that, Mr. Lunsford.
Yes, sir. Marine biology covers the feeding habits of the whale, his seasonal movements, his breeding and calving habits.
Oh, now, that's mighty wonderful interesting, ain't it, Jason?
Baring, I think that we'd better get on.
But no, I'm worried. For near 200 years, my folks made a tolerable living taking whale, and not one of them ever studied that marine what do you call it? You reckon we was all that time not knowing that we didn't know what we was doing, Mr. Lunsford?
Captain Joy, I'd like to have been a fourth-generation whaleman, too. All right, I'm not. But I do know my trade, and I can...
Sorry, Baring. I thought you'd be pleased with Mr. Lunsford's record.
Now, what give you a notion that I ain't pleased? Well, he suits me fairly proper. Yes, sir, he suits me fine.
Oh.
You ought to make a mighty interesting voyage, Jason. Mr. Lunsford can tell me about this what do you call it? And it just might be that there's a little point or two where I could tell him. Against the time, I mean, when he takes over command of his own.
Well, it just may be that Mr. Lunsford would rather ship aboard another vessel.
No, the ship and the master suit me fine. If you'll excuse me, Captain Joy, I'll see you at the vessel, sir.
You bet you will, Mr. Lunsford. Well, Mr. Lunsford?
We've cleared the Cape, sir. Full sails aloft, making 10 knots, sir.
Mm-hmm. You formed any opinion of the crew yet, Mr. Lunsford?
They appear able enough, sir.
Well, some good things about them, maybe. You may have noticed that most of my crew generally sign on again.
Out of affection, no doubt, sir.
Could be, Mr. Lunsford. Oh, yes, could be. That's possible. However, I make no contact with the crew. Now, maybe you think that's because I'm an old man who has need of these here crutches to make my way about. Is that what you think, Mr. Lunsford?
I hadn't thought about it at all, sir.
I deal with my crew entirely through my first officer and don't meddle.
Yes, sir?
For instance, it so happens I got Tim aboard. But his being my grandson don't make him no different from no other folks around.
Yes, sir.
Now, but we got a special little problem, Mr. Lunsford. My grandson was permitted to make this voyage with the firm understanding that he receive his proper portion of bookline, like the law says. Whilst he was cabin boy, I earned him. But him being crew now, it's different. I dasn't meddle with the crew, no wise whatever, like we said. See, Mr. Lunsford?
Yes, but then who's going to...
It's a vexing problem. At least, it was a vexing problem. Until it come to me to remember you and your schooling. Because From now on, it can be your duty to oversee his book learning just like this vessel promised.
Oh, but my time's going to be pretty well taken up.
Oh, fit the lessons in time. Your off hours will be fine. And don't look so long-faced. I had the feeling when you come aboard that you was ready to take on extra duty was the chance to show itself.
Yes, sir. Anything else, sir?
No, not a thing, Mr. Lunsford. This here has been a mighty interesting chat. Yes, sir. Mighty interesting.
In just a moment, our stars will return with Act Two of Down to the Sea in Ships. And now here's Libby Collins with the Lux Movie News of the Week. Libby, didn't I see you at Universal International's preview of Katie Did It?
I was there, all right, John. And I want to report to Anne Blythe's fans that she's a real comer. You know, she won one of Photoplay's Gold Medal Awards for 1950. In her new picture, she's teamed with handsome Mark Stevens and is the center of a slightly scandalous story. As Katie, she poses for a billboard with bare shoulders coming out of a lily pond, and that makes her hometown blush. Katie does it to repay her uncle's gambling debt, but her third-year aunt is shocked. Now, if you want to know whether she marries the artist who painted her or the hometown boy who offers to save her from disgrace, see Katie Did It yourself.
I take it that Anne of the Lovely Shoulders dresses quite conventionally at other times.
Oh, yes, and just the kind of clothes girls her age love. A plaid cotton shirt with slacks for casual wear, and a darling shirtmaker dress in rose. Simple but beautifully tailored.
Perfect summer luxables, I'd say.
Indeed they are, John. And this summer's cottons have never been lovelier. New Lux with Color Fashion is here just in the nick of time. It keeps white cottons beautifully white. Prints look so gay and alive, you'll think you're dreaming. All colors have zing and sparkle such as you've never seen before.
It's a fact. No other way of washing leaves colors fresher or brighter.
Since this is National Cotton Week, the fabulous new cottons come to mind first. But New Lux with Color Fashion is just as wonderful for all whites, all colors, and so safe for everything safe in water.
You should hear Hollywood screen stars rave about it.
Anne Blythe says it gives the most wonderful results she's ever seen.
Now, while your cottons are new, start them off right with this sensational care. New Lux with Color Freshener.
Your bright prints, your dreamy colors, your paper white will sing all summer long.
Get a big box of New Lux with Color Freshener tomorrow. Give your washables that nicest new Lux look again and again. Here's our producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Act Two of Down to the Sea in Ships, starring Richard Widmark as Dan Lunsford and Lionel Barrymore as Captain Daring Joy. Several days have gone by, and the Pride of Bedford still sails aloft, sweeps onward to the South Atlantic. On the afterdeck, Captain Joy's grandson keeps an appointment with his new teacher.
Let's see. You passed the 4th grade examination, huh?
I got 70, Mr. Lunsford. It was easy.
Oh, I'm sure it was. Look at the teacher you had. All right, now it says here in your book that Farmer Brown has a box of 32 apples. He gives 8 away, 6 more rot before he can get them to market. Now, how many apples are left for sale?
I don't know. Hey, look at the front of his port side.
I asked you a question, mister.
I don't know, sir. Besides, I don't see why I have to learn about farmers.
Look, 32 apples. He gives 8 away, 6 more rot. Now, how many are left?
7?
Look, I wonder if we try real hard, we could find something that you do know. What's the longest river in the world?
The Narragansett?
The Narragansett. What was the first battle of the Revolution?
I don't know. Why do there have to be so many questions? Grant is the best whaleman in the world. He didn't have to learn about farmers and with apples. And look at Abraham Lincoln. He didn't have to have no schooling to be president.
Well, it wouldn't take long to figure out where you heard that one. All right, mister, I guess we can't get pearls out of a pelican. There are others aboard this ship who want to learn.
About apples?
About taking whales. We're putting 2 crews into the water. Mr. Sewell's taking one, I'm taking the other. That is, as soon as I pick my men.
You need a tiller, Mr. Lunsford. Going, Mr. Lunsford. I know all about a tiller. Just leave
You
it.
report to the cook. Maybe there's something you could do to help him.
The cook, sir?
You've got your orders, mister.
Yes, sir.
How's that coffee, Mr. Tubbs?
Coming, sir. Coming. Well, what's the matter with you, boy? Don't you feel like victuals?
I'm all right.
Try him with an apple, Mr. Tubbs.
An apple, sir?
Oh, no. Come to think of it, some people don't like apples. They don't even like the farmers who grow them.
He had 32 apples. He gave 8 away and 6 got rotten, so he had 18 left. And the Mississippi is the longest river in the world. And the first battle was Concord. And 6 times 11 is 66, and 6 times 12 is 72. And is there anything else you want to know, sir?
Yes. Where's the sugar, Mr. Tubbs? What are you looking at, mister? Can't see much over a rail at night.
No, sir. You can't.
I was sort of hard on you, wasn't I? In front of the crew, too.
I don't feel like talking, sir.
Well, your grandfather's back there. Maybe you feel like talking to him.
No, sir. Not special.
Uh-huh. Well, we could talk about whale, you know. For instance, how big is a bluefin calf when he's born? How old is he before he starts to travel? What does he eat that's different from other whales? Well, come on, mister. What's the matter?
How big is he when he's born?
Oh, 20 feet, maybe.
Did you ever see one?
No.
Well, how do you know then?
I studied about it. Yes, that's right, in books. What whales eat, how they behave, the sum of what a lot of men have found out about them.
I could learn that.
Sure, you could learn lots of things once you got the hang of studying. Even sevens.
Well, what about 7?
Well, that's a mighty important number in a man's life. When he's 7, he changes from a child to a boy. Now, what's twice 7?
14.
That's right, and that's about when he stops being a boy and he starts growing into a man. 3 times 7?
21. Yeah, that's when he's all the way grown up.
Well, he thinks so anyway. But, let's jump ahead a little bit, shall we? What's 10 times 7?
70?
That's right, 70. 70. That's the best age of all if a man has sense enough to meet it the way he ought to.
Grandpa's 70.
Oh, is he? Yes, that's a fine time of life, Jed. A man can sit on his front porch in the sun and think about how good he used to be and leave the work of the world to younger and better men.
What are you talking so loud for?
Oh, am I? I didn't realize I was. Well, that's enough for now, boy. We'll take the 8th tomorrow.
You ain't mad at me anymore?
Go on, get to bed.
Good night, Mr. Lunsford.
Good night, Jed.
Good night, Captain Joy.
Go to bed. Younger and better men. Younger and better men, my foot. Morning, Mr. Joy. You got a minute to spare me? I'd like to inquire about your schooling.
Oh, it's fine, sir. It's not a bit hard the way Mr. Lunsford teaches it. Like an arithmetic, sir. He makes sense out of it. Like dog bark navigation and how to use it.
What kind of navigation?
Dog bark, sir. It's like when we're in a fog and we're near land or something. What do we do?
What do? We throw a rock overside, and if there ain't no echo of the splash, we know we're in clear water. Don't you ever forget it.
Oh, no, sir, I won't. Only Mr. Lunsford, he don't throw a rock over.
More likely he throws over one of the crew, huh, boy?
Oh, no, sir. He says it's silly to carry all those rocks, when all you have to do is shout.
Shout? Shout at who?
Just shout, sir. And then you count slow. And if any echo comes back in, say, 5 seconds, you multiply 5 times 1,000, because that's the speed of sound. Then you divide by 2, because the sound has to go out and back. That gives you 2,500 feet. And that's the distance you are from land, to an iceberg, maybe. And that's dog bark.
That's hogwash. Hogwash.
Anyway, sir, Mr. Lunsford's taking his boat tour out to practice. And he said that I can go with him.
No, now. You don't want to miss none of Mr. Lunsford's wisdom. Get on, Mr. Joy. Go on, get...
Thank you, sir.
What's all the stir about, Mr. Thatch?
Hey, come back, sir. Mr. Lunsford longboat. They finally get back.
All hands safe?
Yes, sir. Bit backwards here. They've been pulling them oars for hours.
I expect to have. Well, get him aboard, Mr. Thatch.
There's only one thing I want to know. Who's the jokester aboard who filled that extra sail? I said, who's the jokester?
Excuse me if I interrupted, Mr. Lunsford. Nice practice. Nice long practice, Mr. Lunsford. Very commendable.
No wonder we got back at all with this vessel off her course. We might just as well have pulled for land.
I expect you could have made it, too. You could have dog-barked it. Full sails, Mr. Sewell. Hold your course.
Stand and watch, Mr. Lunsford.
Yeah.
After all that rowing you've done. Let me bring you a mug of coffee.
No, thanks, Mr. Tubbs. All quiet below?
All quiet, sir. You, ain't got it figured out yet, have you, sir?
What are you talking about?
About why this vessel was off course this afternoon? He done it, raising that sail.
Some people spit meanness just for the fun of it.
You ain't had much truck with feelings, have you, Mr. Lunsford?
Look, maybe you'd better get back to your galley.
Can't you see, sir, the captain, he kind of took the boy's feelings for granted, same as we do all our kin, but you're taking that boy away from him, Mr. Lunsford. You're taking something you've got no right to.
That old man loves nothing outside of himself and whale oil. He dumped that kid on my deck himself. All I've done is try to hammer his little ABCs into
No,
it.
sir, no, sir, no, sir. Why do you think he's here at sea where he ain't got the strength to be no more? What do you think's driving him on, huh? It's his love for that boy. Now, somebody's going to get hurt, Mr. Lunsford, but it ain't going to be him. Not now, not at his time of life. Not if I'd have to kill the man.
Tubbs, I think you believe everything you say, but that doesn't make it true. Well, I don't mean a cobbler's nickel to that boy. But if that's all it'll take to make you happy, that's easy. I'll dump him back in the old man's apron, and quick, too.
Well, it ain't going to be as easy as you think, sir.
No?
No, sir. Good night, Mr. Lunsford.
Come in. Oh, yeah. I admire the way you handled the crew today, Mr. Lunsford. We lost both whales, but for the training you give them. I have edited it in the log that way.
Thank you, sir. But, I'm here to talk about your grandson, sir.
Oh. Seems to me Jed mentioned something that you ain't found time of late to give him his running.
Well, I've been kind of busy, sir. But he's coming along pretty well. I thought maybe he could go out on our next whale.
Well, if he's ready, send him out.
My boat crew's in fine shape. They'll give you their best, sir.
Just what does that mean?
Well, I thought you ought to... Well, I mean, with your liking for the boy, I thought you'd want to take him out and blood him yourself.
Mr. Lunsford, if any member of this crew is ready for blood him. If you want to put him in your boat, put him there. But don't make such a pother about it. Don't come in here telling me when to lower a boat. Clear, Mr. Lunsford?
Yes, sir, but just so that we understand each other,
Captain John, whale, keep on!
Looks like our little understanding will have to wait, Mr. Lunsford.
All hands on deck! All hands on deck! Mr. Lunsford, right there! We'll give it an answer! Please!
Hold on, Mr. Bass. Tell him I took you to take a power order.
Wouldn't make it really go, sir?
Stop the talk, drop those slap buckets and run. All right, get those boats in the water.
Nice, healthy cow you got there, Mr. Lunsford. Or the better 100 miles.
We fastened down to her not too far from the vessel, sir.
Huh?
Chances are the other boats had a longer chase. And there's a fog rolling in, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lunsford. But I'm still able to tell between the fog and the black of night. We'll snug down the vessel as soon as you've made your whale secure down there.
Yes, sir.
Ahoy! Ahoy! Can you sight the vessel? Good work, Mr. Sewell. Rum, Mr. Tubbs. Double grog for all hands.
Get in some dry clothes, you men, then back on deck. Just a minute, Mr. Sewell. Did you see anything of Mr. Thatch out there in that fog?
What do you mean, they ain't back aboard?
No. When did you fight him last?
Just before the weather closed in.
No sight of him on the way back to the ship.
No, sir, we had our own trouble, sir. Nice fog. The boys in that boat, too, sir.
Like some credits, Mr. Lunsford. Put extra lift my eyes and my soul. Bring him back, O Lord. Bring back the boys.
Mr. Sewell, come here. Sir? The old man. Did he eat his supper?
No, sir. He's still standing up on his deck there, leaning on them crutches and staring out in the fog like a statue of stone. Any word from Mr. Sykes, sir?
The old man told him not to search beyond the sound of the vessel, not more than 10 minutes.
Thatcher's a good man, sir. Wherever they are, they could still be all right.
Now, he was talking about putting over another boat, I suppose.
Not to Captain Joyce, sir. He's got his rules.
Well, suppose he breaks them for once. That's his own kid out there. What good are his rules if anything happens to him?
I don't know, Mr. Lunsford, but I do know he won't lower another boat. Maybe that's why he never has any trouble with his crews. They know he ain't never even bent a rule. Man ain't the best master in the trade for nothing, Mr. Lunsford. Yeah, I'd lower another boat, but not him. Don't do it, sir. You can't quit ship without order. Just a few minutes for that suit of it, and
You've seen nothing and you've heard nothing. Is that clear, Mr. Sewell?
Yes, sir.
Hold your oars. The sail must have come back on them. Made little enough pieces of it. We do exactly that, Mr. Rumley. We'll start another circle. Now bend those oars.
How much longer before it'll be light, Mr. Jack?
Well, it's hard to say, Jed. I guess about 3 more hours, boy.
The fog could lift with its daylight, couldn't it, sir?
Could, boy, but how much longer we can hang on to this wreckage? Quiet. Ahoy! Can you hear me? Keep shouting! We'll find you!
Mr. Lunsford! Mr. Lunsford! Mr. Lunsford!
They're coming, Jed! They're coming! The boy's going to be all right, sir. He's in his bunk. I think he'd like to see you, sir.
Mr. Lunsford, as a man, I'm grateful beyond all measure for what you've done.
Well, I don't know how we'll
Stand the matter. That doesn't matter, man.
There are not the words to tell you how grateful, Mr. Lunsford.
Thank you, sir.
But in doing what you did, you jeopardized the safety of this vessel and her entire crew, for which I am fully responsible. Now, was there any question in your mind that you were violating my authority?
None, sir.
Mr. Lunsford, as of this moment you're relieved of duty. We'll continue taking way until we have to put into port for supplies, likely Valparaiso. You'll be pretty sure there. In the meantime, you have the freedom of this vessel.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, please. I want you to know I don't take no pleasure in the doing of this.
I had no quarrel with it, Captain Joy. Is there anything else, sir?
No, nothing else, Mr. Lunsford, no.
Thank you, sir. Before our stars return with Act 3 of Down to the Sea in Ships, I'd like you to meet a special guest, Miss Jean Mayberry, the charming daughter of a very good friend of mine, the casting director at 20th Century Fox. You've lived with pictures all your life, haven't you, Jean?
You think so, Mr. Keeley, because I was born in Hollywood and went to school here. But professionally, I've traveled with an ice show to Cuba, done a stage show in Chicago, and TV work there.
All excellent preparation for a screen career.
Well, that's in the back of my mind. But right now, I still have a yen for travel.
Well, you might try an acting career like Ben Hogan. Your father's son, Glenn Ford, and Ann Baxter, doing moving interpretations of Hogan and his wife, Valerie, and the sacrifices they go through to break into professional golf.
I'm afraid my score isn't good enough. But I've always been a great admirer of Ben Hogan. My greatest regret is missing him at that eventful Los Angeles Open when he came back like a champion.
Too bad you missed it, Gene. I was fortunate enough to have been there.
Timothy Keith and June Harrick, as the Hogan's close friends, make Follow Sound into a life of fortune. Now, what's the next stop on your circuit, Jean?
I'm not quite sure, Mr. Keeley, but I always keep my suitcase half-packed.
I hope that includes Lux Flakes, Dean.
And that certainly does, Mr. Kennedy. I'm never without it for lingerie and stockings wherever I go. And this new Lux seems more wonderful than it ever was.
Thank you, Jean Mayberry. That's what so many screen stars tell us. June Havrick is practically a commuter to New York and Europe, and never goes without a box of Lux Flakes tucked in her suitcase. There's a mighty good reason why stars like Ann Baxter and June Havrick insist on Lux. New Lux with color freshener is perfect care for lingerie. White laces stay whiter than ever. Delicate colors look gloriously alive. Prints fresher than spring. Stocking colors, too, look clearer. Washable silks, rayons, nylons, and gossamer cottons couldn't look lovelier, couldn't be safer. But don't just take my word for it. Try it yourself. Get a big box of Lux Flakes tomorrow. Give your slips and nighties, your washable negligees and housecoats, all your personal washables, that nicest new Lux look. We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. WCBS, AM and FM, New York.
The curtain rises on Act 3 of Down to the Sea in Ship, starring Richard Widmark as Dan Lunsford and Lionel Barrymore as Captain Bering Jones. Day by day, the Pride of Bedford works her way farther south, through interminable farms and treacherous icebergs into the home of Wales. And each passing day brings young Jed closer to a showdown with his grandfather, until now...
Oh, I came to talk to you as master of the vessel, sir.
Then I'd be obliged with you to speak out.
Sir, I wish to be put ashore and we call it Belle Horizon, sir.
I see. Why?
I'd rather not say, sir.
Then I'll tell you. You feel up concerning the discipline of Mr. Lunsford.
Yes, sir.
Look at me. What Mr. Lunsford did, and unless you're man enough to run your ship the way it ought to be, fair and just, then you're not man enough to be master of a vessel.
Fair and just. He came out to find me, didn't he? And you didn't.
Nope, I did not.
You don't care about anything. Just this rotten old stinking ship, that's all. Well, I don't want to stay on it anymore. Nor you either. If that's all, sir.
Just a minute. I struck you in anger. You're entitled to file charges against me. But I want you to know it wasn't in anger at you, but at myself. I failed. I failed to make you the kind of a man I hoped you should be. You can go now.
Aye, sir.
Come here a minute. How is he, the old man?
No better, Mr. Lunsford.
Man his age going out on a longboat. He brought back a whale, didn't he? That's the business of this ship, Mr. Tubbs. The boy been into seeing you?
No, sir. Forgiveness ain't in the joy of blood, Mr. Lunsford. He won't get better. He don't want to get better. He's going to die.
Mr. Lunsford,
Well,
haven't got it, sir. It looks like your day was here at last.
Well, I don't know what that means.
You have the master's license, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
I'm too sick to continue in command.
Are you sure it's that bad?
I know how sick I am. You think I'm doing this with pleasure? You've got your vessel, Mr. Lunsford.
All right, then the first thing we'll do is turn back from under the door when a doctor.
You continue taking word. Inform Mr. Sewell and the crew. That's all, Mr. Lunsford.
Yes.
Yeah, we got more there, but I'd hate to cross crowd her with the ice and all.
We can't crowd her, Mr. Sewell. That old man can smell it out if anybody so much as ties a knot he hasn't ordered. So ease her around, point at a time. All right, but remember, though, we've got to get him to Montevideo as fast as we can.
Mr. Luxford, sir.
Yes, yes.
How sick is he, Mr. Luxford?
I'm afraid it's pretty bad.
I thought I'd go and see him. I want to tell him before he's sick.
That's not enough, kid. Look, you think he's been pretty tough with us, don't you? But maybe sometime you'll get a chance to look in his logbook. And you'll find it written there that he took himself off duty just as quickly as he took me off. And you'll find that it says that what's right for the vessel comes ahead of himself or you or me or anybody. It takes a strong man to live like that, Jed, to put what's right or wrong ahead of your own duty.
I don't know if you could win.
He's more than that. He's more of a man than you or I could ever hope to be. And if you were my own son, I'd wish nothing better than you go down there right now and tell him so before it's too late.
But that'd be like saying he was right instead of you. After all, you're the one that's been my friend.
Jed.
You can't say something you don't mean to. You can't. You just can't.
All right, Jed, it's up to you.
Never did like the ice, Mr. Lunsford. You can feel it out there blowing a cold breath down the back of your neck.
If you could only see it. It's far from over. Set a destination, Mr. Sewell. The ice will be moving pretty fast with the current. We may need the headway to maneuver.
All right, sir.
Mr. Stark, take the reef out of your mainsail. Keep alive, Mr. Fat. You may have to answer pretty quickly. All right? Can you see anything from the furnace?
Nothing but fog, sir.
Jed, throw that horn again.
There's something ahead, sir. Little to start it.
Wait a minute. Fire again, Jed.
Ice to starboard! Ice to starboard!
Hold it back, Mr. Fat. Hold it here. Hands on deck. Hands on deck. Emergency stations on. Hands, emergency stations.
Captain George, are you all right, sir? Are you hurt? Captain, please, get back in bed, sir. What happened? What damage? Well, we missed the iceberg itself, sir, but we're run clean onto a ledge of ice onto the water. Who told us the ledge? Mr. Luxford, sir. He went down on a rope, sir. He stowed it so, sir. How much water we taking? I don't know, sir, but there's men on the pump, sir. We'll repair the hole if we don't pound the pieces first. Anyone hurt? Well, poor's all right, sir. Not a scratch on. I can't anyone hurt. Hurting, sir. First, threw him over. He never came to the surface, sir. Get back on deck, Mr. Tubbs. Mr. Lunsford needs every man he's got. No, sir, I'll not leave you now. Not now, sir. I can't. I won't. Get on deck, Mr. Tubbs, and by the good. All right, sir. All right. I'll go, sir. I'll go. Get! What happened? That's great.
Mr. Luxford, Mr. Sykes, they climbed down again between the ship and the iceberg. I don't know. I saw with the ship here and ever. Crushing them.
Easy, boy, now. Easy. They're pulling him up.
Mr. Luxford!
No, Lance. You best not look. You best not look. My arm. Just my arm.
Right.
Snapped all to the bottle, he said. You best be left around.
It's broken. That's all I needed. You better take over, sir. Nothing forward. I want to talk to you. Keep the asbestos, man. We just broke it out of this.
I wish I was that sure, sir.
Then go down in the rope and see for yourself.
Sorry, sir.
All right, now listen. We've got a hole below the water line. But that ledge is lifted us up above the sea. It's only the weight that's pounding in the hole.
A little more of this pounding and we'll slip off the ledge.
That's why we've got to mend that hole. Crowd some sailors, then maybe the wind will hold us against the ice.
Aye, sir.
And have fast that rumble and burns over the side. Breeze always can work down there. Give us this is fast, so hurry, hurry.
I don't know that they'll go, sir. They'd anyways have a chance in the lifeboat.
Hit the boat, Trevor. Hit the boat, and ship. Bad, she's given up already. Help us, Trevor. Help us, Trevor.
Abandon ship. Sink and blow first.
It's me, Grandpa. Jim. Are you feeling better?
Yeah, boy. You want to speak to me?
Yes, sir. Mr. Dad says he wants to finish his sections, sir. And they're still taking water. But repairs will be complete with the hour. He's shipping us for 7 knots.
Mr. Batch. Yeah. He told me about you, yeah? About the night when your boat was stolen. Said you held yourself like a man.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Yeah?
I want to first to withdraw our custody for the shore. I think maybe I know now what it has to be like when you're a master. I mean,
What are you trying to say, boy?
Grandpa!
Yeah.
What happened? I'd like you to tell me.
My breath is scared. I was told that the pillow was in his boat. He didn't know all about it. And then the master knew what happened.
Captain Ben Roy, born on the 7th, died.
Another ship, Mr. Lester. Look, another ship. Can you make out her name?
It's Somali B, I think, out of Boston.
You know, Grandpa used to call vessels out of Boston?
I can imagine.
That's the bill barges. For a practice cuttlefish and carp.
Look, I'm from Boston, mister.
And he said you'd be a Bedford man now. He said you'd like us to live in the house and taking care of.
Oh, he did, huh?
You will once, Mr. Lester.
Well, looks like I've got my orders.
He said he'd be taking your books out and trying to bust his records.
Well, we'll try, mister. Next voice, the next one, and the one after that. We'll try.
Tomorrow, too. They're calling us.
Private sector, 180 tons out of port. Captain Ben Jones.
Mr. Keeley will tell you about next week's show when he brings back our stars for curtain call. Did you know this is also National Baby Week? I'm celebrating myself by going to a baby shower. Oh, yes. Hollywood stars have baby showers just the way young males all over the country do. I haven't had a present yet, but that's easy. Know what I'm going to get? 12 big boxes of Lux soap. They'll come in mighty handy for the baby blankets and shirts and sweaters the lucky mother gets. Duplicates won't matter a bit. New Lux with color freshener is wonderful for delicate dresses and jackets, too. It keeps even delicate colors so much fresher and brighter, and white stays beautifully white. I must admit, giving Lux for a present isn't entirely original. I got the idea from Ann Southern. Her little girl Patricia is 6 now, and Ann says she's used Lux by the twins ever since Keisha was born, following right in Mother's footsteps. Ann says this new Lux with color freshness couldn't be more wonderful for her own washing. Take a trick from Hollywood screen stars. Use new Lux with color freshness for baby things as well as your own. Get it for Fox tomorrow.
Now, here's Mr. Keeley with our stars.
And, of course, we want them to come forward for a well-deserved curtain call. Richard Whitmark and Lionel Barron. Next I understand you're still making pictures about the Navy.
Well, last time it was the Marines still, and this time it's the Navy. A story of the valiant part the underwater demolition teams played in the last war. Better known as the Frogmen.
Frogmen, I'm a flake man myself.
You mean Lux Flakes?
Of course I mean Lux Flakes. Did you think I was a Lux girl?
Let's get back to our frogmen here. Rick, I trust Mrs. Widmark took plenty of Lux along when you went on location to the Virgin Islands.
Oh, sure, Bill. We had everything. And for the picture, 20th Century Fox took along 7 explosion experts to rig up a gigantic invasion barrage and all sorts of technicians for filming the underwater sequence.
It reminds me of all the heroes of the last war. The famous 442nd Regimental Combat Team. Metro Golden Mayor just starred Van Johnson in a picture about them called Go for Broke.
Well, what does the expression go for broke mean?
Well, that shook the world. This is just what happens at its world premiere in Honolulu on May the 4th.
And what's to be the premiere in the Lux Radio Theater next week, Bill?
Next week we'll have some especially fine entertainment because it's a family comedy. And what a family. It's the 20th Century Fox production of Cheaper by the Dozen. The trials and tribulations of rearing 12 children. And as father, we'll have none other than inimitable, incomparable perfectionist Clifton Webb.
We'll look forward to it, Bill. Good night.
Good night.
One of Hollywood's most winsome young stars is Diana Lynn. She's blonde and vivacious, always has that precious ability look. For a quick beauty pickup, Diana says there's nothing like a refreshing Lux soap bath. And Lux in the new bath size is so luxurious. Have you tried this generous satin smooth bath soap Diana Lynn recommends? You'll be delighted with its rich, creamy lather, abundant even in hardest water, active lather that leaves skin fresh and sweet. Looks lovely all over. The flower-like fragrance is a favorite with screen stars. It's a delicate perfume that clings. Put Lux toilet soap in the big bath size on your shopping list tomorrow. Discover why 9 out of 10 screen stars use this fragrant white beauty soap.
Viva Brothers Company, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday evening when the Lux Radio Theater presents Cheaper by the Dozen, starring Clifton Webb. This is William Keeley saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Heard about cast tonight with Johnny McGovern as Jed, Bill Johnstone as Briggs, and Herbert Butterfield as Bush. Our play was adapted by S.H. Barnett, and our music was directed by Rudy Schrager. This is your announcer, John Milton Kennedy, reminding you to join us again next Monday night to hear Clifton Webb in Cheaper by the Dozen. Stay tuned for My Friend Irma, which follows over these same stations. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Yes, stay tuned for My Friend Irma, starring Marie Wilson. Oh, listen to me, lady. Listen to me, bud. If you want to be not happy, then you want to talk bad.
Yes, Bud cigarettes are cooler than cool. That's S-P-U-D.